We'll have to start history. Yes, what happened? Sit down. Any query? We'll have to start history, correct? Modern history. But the very first thing, two, three things we have to know that about the history. One thing is, many candidates I came across in Delhi, they are basically thinking very wrongly about history, that it is factual, it is very vast. You understand? It is many dates, many years we have to remember. This type of thing, what they are having in their mind. But if you will see the IS and PCS questions, there are very few dates and few years they are asking. They are never going to ask you the dates, never going to ask you the years more. Only the most important years and dates they are asking. Correct. How you will come to know about the most important or important, that for class is here. I'll tell you what to do, not to do, and what years and what dates are actually necessary to be remembered. Like 1 year, they had a question that you must have heard one few things in history, because history is very common. Many people are hearing many things. One, when we were about to get the freedom, there was a British process, political process. In that, they have brought cabinet mission plan that came in 1946. This is of use in history also and polity also, both. So many people knows that cabinet mission plan is there. So they asked on which date cabinet mission plan was given. In this point, they asked about the Bengal was partitioned. Bengal was earlier having Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar, and including the our West Bengal today and Bangladesh. So it was a very big territory. So they asked when Bengal was partitioned. They asked the date. So dates which are having the significance in history, only those dates they are asking. Otherwise, they are not going for dates. Years also same, which is highly significant. They may ask you sometime from where the history started changing. What does this mean of history started changing? It affected very radically. It affected very strongly the coming of politics, the coming of economy, the coming of society, everything. From there, they can ask you that date or year or something else like this. Okay. Simultaneously, the another thing about history from the NCRT books, NCRT, books. From NCRT books, they have removed the chapter of Mughal and Delhi Sultanate. But from the syllabus of IAS, UPSC, and PCS, these things have not been removed. At this point, simultaneously, what history we are studying, like modern history we are studying, I'll tell you the syllabus right now and few things. That point of time, without considering the Mughal Empire, how can we study about the Marathas? Maratha was the regional power, correct? Shivaji Maharaj, have you heard this? He had created an empire there in the modern Maharashtra, including parts of Madhya Pradesh and parts of Karnataka. At this point. So, how can we study about that if we don't know that Mughal was there or not? Simultaneously, until the UPSC or PCS is not removing the syllabus, we have to study about that. Clear? Third thing, what I want to make you clear about history, many perceptions are existing. I mean to say, suppose you would have been hearing so many statements about history that it is written wrong, it is written correct, it was not written, it should have been written like this. All these are political statements. What is accepted in history, that only we have to study. We don't have to consider the statements what is given today. unless it is not coming into the theory. It is not coming into the acceptable form of history. Correct. Suppose we are studying about Gandhiji and one of the politicians tomorrow says, no, Gandhiji did everything wrong. So that is not considered in history. Clear? That is the perceptions what is given for the political purpose today. That is not nothing to do with the history what we have to study. Clear? Fourth thing what I want to tell you that there are the earlier one of the pattern was existing. UPSC syllabus has changed in 2012, correct? PCS has changed right now before 2-3 years. Clear? Before the change of UPSC pattern, that time the asking of the facts from the portion of the GS or the subject was nature was different. They were asking so many questions like there was optional earlier in the preliminary. Are you aware about this? Before 2012, there was in preliminary one is optional, another is GS. So in GS there were around 35 questions from history. But now 2013 onwards, common general studies and CSAT. General studies and CSAT. General studies they are having only 100 questions. How many questions? 100 questions. Now in 100 questions, they will have to ask about all areas. All areas means history, polity, geography, environment, economy, current, technology, science and technology, miscellaneous. So the division here comes is maximum they can ask you in history about 15 questions. How many? Maximum. Getting this point? Because every area has to be covered and from every area they will have the question. Sometimes they are having very less questions, 10 questions. So the weightage of the fact here become less. It becomes very reduced. Getting this point? What is the point I want to mention here? Earlier, suppose I was taking one topic like suppose non-cooperation movement. Have you heard? Revolt of 1857. Have you heard? Where is Sati Chowra here? Sati Chowra Ghat. Are you aware about Sati Chowra Ghat? No. Bibi ka Maqbara. How many are you from Kanpur city? Where is Bibi ka Maqbara? कानपुर नॉट अवेयर आप बताएं इट्स अ जगह बट आई एम नॉट राइट हाँ बाबू नॉट राइट आई टेल यू व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज आप लोग कानपुर से नहीं बिहार से आए सिटी से नहीं है हाँ तो वेयर इज बीबी का मकबरा अच्छा ठीक है मैं बताऊं what were earlier happening what I want to indicate you earlier they used to ask many unique facts peculiar facts. Suppose we are covering revolt of 1857, we have to cover everything. Get this point? Kanpur happened this, Lucknow happened this, Peshwa Nana Sahib was here. He was not Peshwa at that time. He was removed, but he was here. Nana Sahib too. And what happened, not happened. Now the focus is know in brief only. Who was the leader? What happened? One or two important events. What happened? And go ahead. Because the weightage of the questions are now changing and there are so many important areas from where they will have to ask you the questions, not only from the revolt of 1857. This point. Why so? Because GS is only having how many questions? 100 marks. This point. And maximum here question will be in history from art and culture and modern India. One or two questions from ancient India. Get this point? Got clarity? Ancient medieval also they are asking in connection with the culture. In connection with the culture. Why so? Because what is the definition of culture? How many of you are having science background? Only 2, 3. And others? Humanity? All are humanity. History, polity, what? History, polity. Oh, define culture, those humanity background. Don't worry, this is the overview class, so I will give you an overview. Like, see, last year in mains, just listen right now. 2025 mains happened. Earlier to that, 2024 mains happened. Okay. 2024 mains IAS. I'm talking about IAS questions. Okay. 2024 mains, they had asked about one question. That time I was teaching in Drishti. I taught in Drishti 4 years. Get this point. Thereafter I left. Got clarity. So 2024 they asked one question. When I was teaching there, Delhi and Lucknow I was based, both places. When I was teaching there, the candidates told, no sir, no economy they will not ask in culture. And in our times there were two optional system. In mains, two optional, one GS. So one optional I was having history, another was sociology. So I was having the all glimpse of sociology also. Still having. So I taught them Vedic civilization. Have you heard it? Vedic civilization was existing in BC, before Christ era. So that time one civilization came, that is Vedic civilization, that was from 15th century BC to 10th century BC. Just listen and get few things today. This point, you may not be getting many things. So with topic you will be getting everything. 15th century BC to 6th century BC. It is almost around 1000 years. And first 500 years is known as Rig Vedic period. And last 500 is known as later Vedic period. Get this point? Now, the mains in art and culture, they had the first question, how the society and economy from Rig Vedic period to later Vedic period changed. What is the focus of the question? Society and economy. Get this point? Last year is 2024. 2013 onwards culture is coming. But till 11 years they had not touched economy. But culture definition is including everything. Culture is including everything. Society, economy, politics, religion, our behavior, our fooding, our dressing, everything. Music, dance, drama, language, everything. In this point. Simultaneously, I taught them, so those people who have taken the mains yes, last year, they have just written like this. In this point. So, here, many of the ancient medieval questions, they are integrating with which portion? Culture. Getting this point? One or two political questions they are asking. One or two political questions in ancient India and preliminary. Correct? So very first thing you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, you will be getting lost in history. We have to consider only as much as facts what is necessary for us. Because earlier the trend was we have to get many facts in one topic and another topic. In this point, that should be now not useful. And that should be taking your major time, and you will be maybe not getting up all the syllabus, may not be able to do what is required there. Are you understanding what I am saying? Facts which are likely to be asked, which are necessary to be asked. Clear? Because in history it is of 5000 years history. If you will see modern Indian history, correct? Suppose you are studying the polity. How many years? 75 years. Modern Indian history is more than 150 years. How many years? 150. In one day in Kanpur city, what are the events happened yesterday? Can you tell me all events? No. Now suppose in 150, 150 years, if every event we have to cover, then how many days classes are to run? Boli. Oh, only 150 days. Infinite. Only you will study what? History and history. In this point. Then how we come to this conclusion? Because history's definition gives this conclusion. And the pattern of the examination. Definition of history is not to go for facts. Definition of history is to understand political aspects, to understand social aspects, to understand economic aspects, what is happened in history, not today, to understand religious aspect and related to this. Here, nowhere there's history's definition is saying that facts of political aspect, social aspect, economic aspect, religious aspect. Like, see, society is very common to all of us. We are staying in society. What is the major problem of Indian society today? If I'll ask you, what will you suggest? All of you are good in speaking English, understanding the English. Tell me, what are the major problems of Indian society today? Problems. You're saying correct, but not exactly. Yeah, I will tell you. I will tell you. I'm just asking. Huh? No, you also correct. Have I met you earlier somewhere? No. Same face I found in Delhi. That is Amma. Good. So casteism, religious, patriarchal anymore? Blindly following our religion. Theirs means whom? Indian society today is following whose religion? Our religion. Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, GS, many Buddhism, Jainism, many things are there. Anymore? All these are problems. All these are problems. Whatever you say, these are problems. But what I am telling you here is which of the problem is having the potential to misguide the society. If you will ask me, you tell me what are the two major problems in Indian society. I will tell you in Hindi. Would you listen? One is padosi, second is ristedar. Have you counted? No. So social problem major, which is misguiding, superstition. Have you heard about it? Is it still existing? Major problem of the society, what is going on today, customs and traditions. We have to go temples, we have to go mosque, we have to follow this, we have to follow that. Many celebrations, many festivals. Marriage in our place is for 2 months. How many months? 2 months. 3 months preparation, 2 months marriage, thereafter 2 months. That means total 1 year marriage is celebration. Major problem in us, it is problem in which sense that I will tell you. Custom traditions are good also, but superstition is not good. Major problem in our society is less harmony within the society, outside the society. Within the society means, suppose you take Hindu, within the society harmony is not, caste divide. Correct? Outside the society, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, everywhere the problem is there. What are the customs traditions we are following? Custom traditions related to the high caste, lower caste. Are you aware about this? From here, what is emerging? Yes, infinite discrimination is emerging. For that purpose, we have to follow what? Many policies like policy of reservation and all is given in the constitution, isn't it? Now see, all such problems were existing in the history in 19th century. When these problems were existing that time, in the social event and in the religious event, the people came and their effort is known as Indian Renaissance. And the very first person who came to talk about this was Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Have you heard his name? Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. They wanted to do away with this. And these things are still existing, still misguiding the society. You would have heard many times that many people get suicide because of one tantric. Many people get this thing because of one this and that. Customs traditions are creating the sometime vertical divide, sometime horizontal divide. Getting this thing? Harmony is not present in society. Very less harmony is now remaining. So all such things are still today remaining. These things were that time also remaining. So history says it is less factual, more understanding of political, social, economic and religious aspects. Because of this, the facts are not also very important. Earlier also, when I used to teach, I was not teaching the whole facts. Selected facts from where the questions you can attempt. This point. Because of this definition, this thing is emerging that now when the questions are less, the facts should be less prepared. Clear? Yes. One thing more. I don't know what is happening in Kanpur, but in Delhi there are regularly preliminary test series are happening. Have you heard about test series? Now what they are doing, they are asking, they are giving 20 tests. How many tests? Out of that, 4 tests will be of history. And in one test, they will give you 100 questions. How many questions? 400. 400 questions they will have to ask you in significant facts. Many candidates in Delhi who are not going through preliminary because of test series. Because they start running behind the unwanted facts, unnecessary questions. Get this point? In test series, they are not getting the question. Now they start running behind this, and neither of the necessary facts nor of the unnecessary facts, nothing they are able to get. Point is clear. So whenever you give test series should be given for only for the practice. Don't start running in this point, because whatever I will teach you from there in preliminary, 90% question will appear. 90% question. Whatever is the question comes. Mains you will get 100% in modern India. In this point. So this thing I wanted to make you clear, because what is happening? Can you start asking the sir, you don't say this, don't say that. Suppose you have heard some fact, you don't say that. It's not necessary. I can teach you. I can give you 7 pages of facts only in revolt of 1857 in Kanpur. But what is the use? If you will scan through revolt of 1857, they are asking only one question, that is also not very every year, after 2 years, 3 years, and you are studying for 20 pages facts for revolt of 1857. Are you getting this point? And it is not that you have to go through history only. There is polity also. There is economy, geography, current, many things, science, technology. Is it clear? Now see, I am considered with modern India, and the syllabus is given very broadly. In modern India, the UPSC board has given the syllabus, first syllabus, events starting from mid 18th century. Events starting from mid 18th. Second syllabus, and 2 3 words they have written there. Second syllabus they are giving, first they are giving events starting from mid of 18th century. Second they have written freedom struggle. And there they have written events, conditions, personalities, miscellaneous. If these two we will see, there is nothing coming out that what we have to study in the modern Indian history in this part. So then how to break up the modern Indian history and how to get it so that in preliminary and mains we should be comfortable. And the questions, how they are putting up the questions, like see one question I am telling you, it has been asked in mains from modern India. You give the topic history, modern history, modern Indian history. The complete timeline is taken from the death of Aurangzeb. 1707 to 1947. Yeah. See which type of questions they are asking in mains. How the British complicated freedom process of India. This is been asked 2 3 years earlier. Simultaneously, they asked one question. Mid 18th century was there was the question comment. The word they are analyze, critically analyze, comment. So here they had the question comment. Simultaneously, they asked mid 18th century was, if you want to write, you can write fully. Mid 18th century was representing political fragmentation. This is the word used by UPSC. Comment. 200 words, 250 words. Political fragmentation. Is the spelling clear or should I write clearly? Clear? Fragmentation. 200 words. This year 2025, they asked one question. What are the circumstances that led to the Quit India movement? Discuss the circumstances that led to the Quit India movement. Clear? This type of question you will get. Since I am here taking only modern India, so giving you question from modern India only. Now see, if we will see how to cover it, don't worry about the question, you will be able to write. Why I am telling you a few questions so that your mind should be very clear that in history the fiction has to be written. What is fiction in history? That I will make you clear. What is fiction? Facts and the bookish things, whatever is the story given, that is not to be written in the answer. In this point, it is the only area in general studies after the change of syllabus history. What the answers or the framework you won't get anywhere, nor in any book, nor in any material. And that can be taught only by the person who has already done the PG, Masters in History. In this point, because these things are coming only in Masters, not in the at the level of graduation. So, to break the syllabus according to these two syllabus, the very first chapter we have to cover is later Mughal. Chapter wise I am giving the syllabus, then we will start covering. Later Mughal. Don't want to write. Later Mughal period is historically large, 1707 to 1857, but here we have to see 1707 to 1750. 1750. Okay. What was Mughal Empire? Mughal Empire was established in India in 1526. The person name was Babur who came there. Thereafter, Babur, when he left, when he died, 1530, his son became Humayun. Then came Akbar. Then came Jahangir, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb became the ruler in 1658, 165. Thereafter, he ruled till 1707. 1707, he died. Yeah. Till the from the Akbar till Aurangzeb, Akbar became the ruler in 1556. Right now, I'm just telling you in brief, one sort of overview. Tomorrow, in when I'll start the class, then I'll make you write things what had happened, not happened. When Akbar became the ruler, from that time till the rule of Aurangzeb, till the Aurangzeb came to the rule, Akbar had given many policies adopted. Because of that, the Mughal Empire became established very firmly, strongly. And Mughal Empire was having the roots not only in Islamic society, in the Hindu society also. Getting this point? These policies were reversed, changed by Aurangzeb. And throughout his ruling period, Aurangzeb ruled almost for 50 years, 50. Throughout his rule, the policies were reversed. The impact came that the Mughal Empire started weakening, started slashing, started declining. His policies were many, so we will discuss that. And the son after the Aurangzeb became the ruler. After the death of Aurangzeb, who became the ruler, he was not so strong to capture the things, to control the things. His name was Shah Alam I, Bahadur Shah I. Get this point. Then the another person came to the throne after Bahadur Shah I, Jahandar Shah came. Then Farrukhsiyar came. Then Muhammad Shah came. Thereafter Ahmad Shah came. All these rulers were incapable. Incapable, I mean to say, whatever the political themes were emerging, they were able to not control. When they were not able to control the different states in India, like states of Marathas, geography, have you gone through few classes? Now see, this is the total India, that time including Pakistan. One central rule was Mughal. After the death of Aurangzeb, this India was divided into the separate sphere of existence. Like Marathas became independent, Bengal became independent. Here the Nizam in 1724 became independent. Hyderabad, state of Hyderabad. That time it was named as Hyderabad. Correct. Here in northwest also many smaller states came. Mughal Empire sphere was reduced. Now there was the central power. Now they want to become independent. So the struggle started with whom? Mughals. To replace the Mughal as a central ruler. To replace the Mughal as central ruler. In this replacement, the Marathas became winner. And around in 1737, with the Battle of Delhi and Bhopal, Maratha became the all India power. That means Maratha defeated everyone. This point. And all India gone into the control of whom? Marathas. Clear. But simultaneously Maratha's power started, finished or declined after 1761 when the third battle of Panipat was there. Getting this point? So here the main very important point is ki, what were the causes of the decline of the Mughal Empire and how that affected the Indian future course. What the syllabus is saying, mid 18th century. Mid 18th century is having the connection from here, and mid 18th century onwards we have to study. So here the history we have to see in short, and then we have to history in short, this history, and then we have to cover the earlier things. Get this point? So this is the first chapter where we have to cover a few facts also and mains portion also. Clear? Simultaneously, when we are covering it, the another portion is connected to it. And the second chapter, what we will start is, please note down, establishment of British rule in India. Getting English very clearly? Anyone is having problem? No. I'm speaking very easy language. This phase we are taking from 1750 to almost 1850. Now, from where the British came in scenario, like what happened, you please bring the map in your mind, world map. World map, if you are bringing, this is our India. What happened? Okay, this is our India, isn't it? Anyone knows about it? जानते हैं कुछ? हाँ, please उनको बोलो. Okay, bring the map of India in your mind. From India west, if we will proceed, that is West Asia. From Afghanistan, if we will move to right, that is Central Asia. And from Central Asia, right side, the Southeast Asia is connected, China and all, China, Japan, etc. And when we will move upwards and leftward, then it will be what? Europe. Yeah, right. अच्छा खुद भी बंद हो जाता है क्या अच्छा अच्छा thank you. Then we will go to Europe. See, this one is the map. From here, this is what? Europe. And here it is Africa. What happened? This land route was present since the formation of this geography, what we are seeing today. From this land route, earlier the European traders were also coming and Indian traders were also going throughout ancient. But what happened after 7th century, this route became disturbed. When this route became disturbed, the European traders were unable to come in maximum. One or two were coming and the trade was not safe. Indian traders were also not taking any adventure to go to the Europe. But the European traders were trying to have the maximum trade with Asia because Asia was a large market, not only India, Southeast Asian nations, Asia. So they started searching a route crossing through Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, came to Africa, then came to India. Point. This route is known as Cape of Good Hope. And the first nation who came to India was Portuguese. 1498, Vasco da Gama, you would have heard it. Thereafter came Dutch. Thereafter came Danes. Thereafter came British. Then came France. All these five nations came to India. Portuguese started coming, see this thing very carefully, 16th century beginning, 1500. And I am here talking about 1750. This is around 150 years. In between, all powers came. From here till here, Portuguese, Dutch, Danes, power was lost in India. Only two of the powers was remaining. One was British, another was French. Spot. So now see here what the conditions are becoming in India. Central power was Mughal, who lost their way. The another power came was Maratha. Mughal lost, and Mughal was replaced by Marathas. Marathas were having the challenges with British, France, and other Indian states. What were the challenges at that time? Today, what are the challenges in democracy? Tell me. Today is democracy, and that time it was monarchy. What is the challenge today? बोले बोले बोलते रहिए बोलते रहिए मैं सुन रहा हूँ. Sometimes I give the chance the student to speak. I am the single teacher, otherwise teachers don't give chance. हाँ बोलते रहिए एक एक पॉइंट. Yes, infinite. What's your name? ज्ञान से श्रीवास्तव आपका. अनिरुद्ध जी बताइए. देखिए, all of you are correct, but what I'm telling you here is tax collection a problem? Many GST rates are going on. Why this is going on? Because people are hiding what? Taxes. Now understand. That time the form of governance is referred as monarchy. And today we are living in very good. Now listen me carefully. Either in monarchy or in democracy, both places. If the ruler or the government wants to rule, only two things are required. Only two things. Thereafter, everything is implicit. These two things are, one is revenue, another is army. correct? Revenue comes from where? Taxes and other sources. If revenue is not good, army will not be good. If army will not be good, that means army cannot protect the boundary of the state. Army cannot protect the ruler. Today, army cannot protect the government. Army cannot protect the state. Then we will be losing the things. Today, you see, we are not having as much revenue, so we are bringing Rafale from outside. Are we bringing or not? Getting this point? So, other Indian states were projecting the challenges to Marathas. They were not giving taxes time to time. If they are not giving taxes time to time, then that time, today we are sending ED, CBI. That time they have to go and make the war because monarchy only one solution is there to attack. What to do? Attack. So every time if the rule is busy in attacking for taking the money, taking the revenue, the rule becomes automatically very weak. Get this point? And in between that, 1761 event happened, third battle of Panipat, where Amar Shah Abdali defeated whom? Marathas. So Marathas' power started weakening. Then these two powers were left. Get this point? This is also left because Marathas were unable to defeat them. So the triangular conflict emerged. And in that triangular conflict, one side British, another side France, and the third side Indian states. In Indian states, Marathas were also there. Maratha, Mysore, Bengal. These are Awadh. These are the four Indian states which had the capacity to fight with British, to stop the British, to challenge the British, to make the obstacles in the British rule in India. Now see, France also had the motive to defeat and get the power supremacy. British also had the same motive. So there was and there had the conflict should be there. And all these powers started making the conflicts. At this point. And at this point of time, the conflict started between these two. So in this chapter, we have to cover up all such things because many times they are asking the war chronology, battle chronology in the preliminary one or two questions. So what we have to see here, just see this. Very first thing in the second chapter, we have to go for wars. Please note down what are the wars we had gone through. Very first war we had gone through, Bengal wars. नहीं पसंद है? What happened? Seriously, take care. एक्चुअली वेदर अभी ठीक है नहीं. मेरे को खुद पिछले 5 दिन से बहुत सर्दी था. समझ रहे हो? देन आई टुक एंटीबायोटिक. क्या किया? हमें तो क्लास लेना है, बच्चे नहीं तो 2 दिन क्लास ऑफ कर देंगे. बच्चों का क्या होता है? कंटिन्यूटी ब्रेक हो जाता है. क्या हो जाता है? हाँ. आई वाज सीइंग दिस गाय सिंस बिगनिंग. ही वाज सब टाइप्स ऑफ them. इसमें हम इन दिस चैप्टर वी हैव टू गो थ्रू द वॉर्स. करेक्ट. Very first war we have to go through Bengal War. Two wars happened. Plassey in 1757, Battle of Buxar 1764. Plassey Buxar. These two wars British won. You just write down Plassey Buxar. Stories and question answers, facts will come in the topic. Both these were won by British. One is by treachery, deceiving. Another is by fighting. And in this war, the Mughal ruler Shah Alam II was also involved. This time the Mughal ruler Shah Alam II. And the ruler of Awadh this time was Shujauddaulah. They were also involved and they were also defeated. Second war, it is known as Carnatic War. Carnatic. It is also known as Anglo-French War. Also known as Anglo-French. Anglo is for British, French is for France. Yeah. It is just a terminology, Anglicization. What is the term? Ideology was Anglicization. Anglicist word is there. Correct. This is the word originated for English speaking people. And for English speaking people, the main custodian was Britain, because America was also the colony of Britain. Do you know this? America was not earlier in existence. It was the colony of Britain. So from here the word came Anglo. And since it is convenient, that is why we have given it Anglo. Otherwise we can term it also British France war. There is no harm. But the historians have written like this, Anglo-French war. One controversy will also come, Anglicist Orientalist controversy, that comes in preliminary sometimes, correct? So there also I'll make you understand. Carnatic is not modern Karnataka. Carnatic was a state that time. This is, this type of Indian map is there. This state is now Tamil Nadu, covering the parts of Telangana till Odisha. This is the state of Carnatic, correct? Do you get this map? This Indian map is there, political. State of Tamil Nadu, parts of Telangana, lower parts till Odisha, correct? This state was Carnatic. This state was Carnatic. Since this war had mostly happened for the purpose of Carnatic, and Carnatic was involved, that is why the name given Carnatic Wars. There I'll make you understand more and right. There were 3 wars from 1746 to 1763. 3 wars took place between 1746 to 1763. Clear? In this war, France totally was defeated. So hereafter in India only one foreign power remained. That foreign power was, you see here, France is now removed, 1763. Then only Britain and Indian states. In this point. Now the conflict was either Britain will win or any one of them will win. In which lastly what happened? Who won? British won. So second war, next war we have to see is Anglo-Mysore War. Anglo-Mysore War. There were 4 wars in between 1767 to 1799. There were 4 wars in between 1767 to 1799. Clear? Again British won. Clear? In these 2 wars there were no results. Equality was there. Last 2 wars British won. And earlier the Hyder Ali was there. His son Tipu Sultan came. And finally Tipu Sultan was killed. Clear? So Mysore also became unable. Here the British won the thing. Here Bengal was won by British. Now the another war remaining is, note down, Anglo-Maratha War. There were 3 wars happened between 1775 to 1818. Correct? Finally Marathas were also defeated. And then only British were left. Now see, this year what I am telling you, 1818, imagine the political map of India, what I am saying you. Are you having in the mind Satluj River? Hmm? From Satluj till what is Pakistan today. Correct? This is Satluj. This is Sikh Empire. Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Have you heard? And below Satluj, like this one, all part came under the control of British. Only Sikh Empire was not under the control of whom? British. So British was totally, thoroughly the political power of India. And they had not to do nothing to fight with the Sikh because already they had a compromise with Ranjit Singh 1809 that you don't come below the Satluj, we will not move upward to Satluj. So they waited for the death of Ranjit Singh 1839. When he died, thereafter British went for Sikh war. Right on next, Anglo-Sikh war. Two wars. This is only for preliminary. Then Sindh war, or it is also known as annexation of Sindh, only for preliminary. Burma war, what is Myanmar today, that time it was known as Burma, only for preliminary. Only for preliminary, nothing else. Next point. Is it clear? This is from here, many questions in preliminary and mains have been asked. Many times they are asking about the chronology of the wars. This point. Many times they are asking about the year, few battles which are very important. This point. Many times they are asking after which Governor General had defeated Hyder Ali. Because initially Hyder Ali was defeating them. Get this point. This type of pre-questions they will orient. So this is the most important thing. Mains question also comes from here. Like one question like mains which is expected to come. Whenever I'll teach you many questions which came and many more questions which is about to come, that will be tackled. This type of line they can give you. Don't write it right now. The treacherous, the people who did the treachery at Palasi now became the kingmaker. Comment. Those people who deceived Sirajuddaulah, now those people are becoming kingmaker. In this point, comment. 200 words. How many words? 200. So how to tackle this? What I told you. Preliminary is now very easy. If you qualify CSAT, very easily you can qualify preliminary. But where the major challenge is existing now in? Tell me. Mains. And especially in which papers? Not in optional. In general studies. Because they have not been remaining in any scope for asking the questions. They are asking the questions like optional in GS. Few questions more tougher than optional. Now everybody cannot go for sociology optional, history optional, political science optional. Can they go? No. So it becomes very highly important to focus on those things in this point. Then in between that, third chapter will be right now. Tribal and peasant revolts. Tribal and peasant revolts. Farmers is termed as peasants in history. P-A-S-A-N-T. P-A-S-A-N-T. Peasant revolts. It is started in second half of 18th century. Then 19th century. Then 20th century. Sometimes question appears in mains also. Major times it comes in preliminary. In this part. Like you must have heard about the Sannyasi revolt. Have you heard? Happened in Bengal. You should have heard about the Paika revolt, Munda revolt, Birsa revolt. These are tribal revolts. Peasant revolts, you must have heard about Indigo revolt, Bengal. Get this point? All such revolts will come here. Get this point? And what were the causes and what happened majorly? Who were the leaders? Year sometimes they are asking here of few major revolts. Clear? This is also known as, right on, first response against the British rule. First response against the British rule. Have you seen the Bihar election right now? Are you aware what happened there? JDU and BJP once, everybody know. But what have you seen there in the total political process? Who was challenging the NDA? Who were the main opponent parties? RJD plus alliance, UPA. They are saying UPA. Now NDA is the ruling party. They are opposing. What are their grievances? What they wanted, what they highlighted: unemployment, expenses, inflation, all such things. But finally, who won? NDA. This is democracy. Issues decided with election. Correct? Now, when the British started ruling Bengal from 1757, their only one motive was to extract the wealth from India. Extract means drain. Have you heard this word? Drain the wealth from India. Drain means nothing to be remaining in India. This is India, this is Britain. They started draining the wealth and they started getting to Britain. So if a state, if a territory is constantly losing its money, wealth means minerals, money, gems, jewelries, labor, everything. This state will become poor and poorer. Getting this point? The problems will start emerging in every sector. The very first problem was faced by whom? Tribal and peasants. So they had given the response in revolt. Get this point? They were not at one place, they were giving the response indiscriminately at one place and another place. They were not united. So British managed them by force, by killing them, by arresting them, by threatening them. Against point. Finally, the revolt was happening. Clear? And these revolts culminated in the next revolt right now, revolt of 1857. Revolt of 1857. In revolt of 1857, we have to cover causes, areas where the revolt happened, leaders, areas where the revolt happened, leaders, nature of the revolt, causes behind the failure of revolt, causes behind the failure of revolt. Maximum question in mains will come from nature. Maximum questions will come from nature. Like suppose there was one British Prime Minister, they told revolt of 1857 was the national revolt. Analyze the statement. Simultaneously, one another historian have commented, revolt of 1857 was the fight of barbarians against civilized. Barbarians, they used to mean to Indians, and civilized British. One of our nationalist leader there is V.D. Savarkar. He told it was the first war of independence. In this point, this type of statement is there, and they are start asking, analyze or comment. This will be covered thoroughly. Correct. Now, when we will cover these things, in between that, what happened? I'm writing USA, correct? That time it was not USA, it was America only. What? USA was the colony of Britain. Do you understand the meaning of colony? What does this mean? See, word colony starts from colonialism. What I told you, the European nations, especially initially two nations, one is Portuguese, another is Spain, correct? They started searching the routes for oceanic trade. Spain went to America and the Portuguese came to Asia, correct? Then they started fighting, then the division happened, clear? Why they wanted to search the trade route? Because they want to make their profit maximized with the foreign trade, because internal trade the profit cannot be so much maximized. How? With internal trade profit cannot be so much maximized. Suppose you are producing this one remote. India, how much it cost? 100 rupees. In foreign you will sell it for $50. How much you get? 80 rupees करके calculate करो. Will you be giving CSET or not? What I told you, in India it will be sold for 100 rupees. How much? 100. And in outside you are selling it for $50. $1 is 80 rupees minimum. So 80 into 50, how much it is? 4,000. 100 rupees and 4,000. 4,000 out of 4,000, suppose 1,000 rupees your cargo, taxes, etc. Then 3,000 comes in your hand. And the manufacturing cost is rupees 80. So 3,000 minus 80, how much profit are you getting? This is known as maximization of profit. What it is known? When they used to come to India, they used to purchase a spice that time of 1 paisa 5 kg, suppose. And they used to sell it in Europe $5 50 grams. What happened? Maximization of profit. Any nation today also, even India, even America, even Europe, if they don't have the external trade, they cannot have maximization of profit. They will have less because our currency is less. But if Asian nations are having the trade in Europe, euro is more expensive, America, dollar, we will have maximization of profit. Simultaneously, they can capture the market also. Now, European market today is captured by which nation? Maximum goods is supplied by which nation? Only China. Where is India? India, very less. Fuel, very less. How much? How much? Very less. Maximum goods are from whom? China. Correct. So market is captured by whom? China. American market, China. China and Japan. African market, China. Southeast Asian market, Malaysia, Indonesia, China. These are the two things. Please keep in mind for history also. There also I will tell you something. Not today's economy, correct? Today also this is correct. Market and outside trade. So that time they wanted to capture the market also, market of Asia, market of Africa, market of Europe. And secondly, they wanted to get the less expensive good and to sell it at more high expense. This is known as maximization of profit. That is known as mercantilism. What is the term given? Mercantilism. You understand this? Yes? Any doubt? Now see, if there is one nation, then it is well and good. But there are more than one, two, three, four. Every nation wants to maximize profit. So every nation had to what with each other? Competition will come later on. First will come what? What is the reason behind China is supporting the Pakistan against India? Think I am giving you 1 minute. Then tell. You got my question? We don't have any hatredness with China. Thereafter also, China since 1963 is supporting Pakistan against whom? India. Why? Think. Think 1 minute. Hmm. Think 1 minute. Good, good. All of you are getting the thing. See, India, China, Pakistan. India is a growing nation, developing nation. Since 1947, we have all the ability to develop, all the ability. Then, if India is developing, China supports Pakistan to create problems, political problems. India's revenue is diverted towards what? Defense. So our revenue is not getting into what? Economy. This is what I was asking. Why China is constantly supporting Pakistan against India? To divert India's surplus revenue to what? And meanwhile, China was developing economically. Now you get this point. Meanwhile, China developed economically. Now China's economy is very far away than whom? India. Is this point clear in your mind? Getting this point? Because of this, they are creating the political problems, and because of security, we have to divert our revenue. So mercantilism, competition will come later. First will come what? Conflict. And when they will see conflict is continuously going on, almost for 200 years conflict was there, then they started making a thought that why not to politically capture a territory. That means we will capture, we will rule there, our government will be there. This is known as colonialism. This is known as what? Colonialism. Getting this point? What British did here? British defeated France. British defeated Indian states, established themselves as a political master in India. Clear? This is what? Colonialism. Now, what is the motive of colonialism? I told you, extracting the wealth, exploiting the territory by every means, whatever you can think of. Everything should be exploited. This position is clear in your mind? Got clarity? This had happened earlier also. In history, every time this had happened. And today also happening. Correct. If China will leave supporting Pakistan, India's defense will sector revenue will be lower down and it will be invested in manufacturing, production and many things. Clear? So colonialism is the fact. So USA was slipping out from the hands of Britain. Around 1770, USA got independence on 4th July 1776. But from 1770, British understood that now USA is slipping out. Then in comparison to USA or after USA, only one vital territory was with Britain, that was India. So they don't want to lose this, and this is the background with few other things. They started imposing the administration here. And the first post they created in 1773, that was Governor General of Bengal. Governor General of Bengal. And that Governor General of Bengal was converted into Governor General of India in 1833. Charter Act 1833. Correct. And from there, Governor General of India, 1858, also came to be known as Viceroy of India after the revolt. Same person with two nomenclature. Governor General of India and Viceroy of India. This one. So when these administrative structures started growing, they started taking up everything in their hands. Then, in the beginning of 19th century, last of 18th century and beginning of 19th century, what happened? There were few ideologies started emerging in the world. In that ideology, one ideology was liberalism. Have you heard about it? Liberalism was basically imposing the duty to the rulers, whoever is the ruler, that you have to do reform wherever you are ruling. Simultaneously, there was another ideology, romanticism. There was another ideology, utilitarianism. Every ideology was having one common thing, that if the Britain is ruling any territory, in that territory they had to make some reform. British started reforming here. The first sector what they started reformation, that was education. And there they wanted to bring the English education. In this point, there the controversy emerged, Anglicist and Orientalist. Few people were not in favor of English as a medium of education. They wanted to have the regional languages, Indian languages, but major section, educated Indians of that time, were in the favor of English education. They are known as Anglicists. Those who are in favor of Indian, they are known as Orientalist. In this point, from here, 19th century, many ideas started coming to India. So Indian Renaissance also started. So the another chapter here we will see, write down. Socio-religious reform movements in India. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, have you heard? Good. Dwarkanath Tagore, Devendranath Tagore. Then came Ravindranath Tagore. Are you getting what I am saying? 20-30%? What the connections I am making? Because today only syllabus I am discussing. Here, mains questions coming every after 1 or 2 years in IAS. Definitely they will ask. Correct? Sometimes you have pre-question also. Like last UP preliminary, what happened? They have given 3-4 events of Raja Ram Mohan Roy to arrange. Getting this point? So preliminary also it's important and mains also it's important. After every 2-3 years, you'll have a question in IAS mains from socio-religious reform movements. Correct? Now, another topic we will have right now. See, have you gone through some polity classes? Constitutional developments, have the sir taught? Acts, regulating act, etc. No. Then that I will teach in the last, in brief, whatever is this. Correct? So, next we will have, write down, freedom struggle. See what happens, either history teacher teaches this or polity teacher, because thing is almost same. Freedom struggle. Freedom struggle I divide in 3 phases. So in the very first phase, I will take beginning of nationalism in India. This is 1858 to 1885. Beginning of nationalism in India. How can we define nationalism, humanity people? Don't think I am testing you, I'm just giving you time to. Yes, ये चेयर थोड़ा और बड़ा कर देता, ऐसा दे दिया है कि ना बैठते बनता ना खड़ा होते बनता है, isn't it? Yes, what is nationalism? बताइए. Operation Sindoor, have you seen what happened that time? That is what I'm asking. What is nationalism? Maximum Indians, maximum, if not all. Okay, all is never required. Absolute is never. Maximum Indians came and support single agenda. That agenda is Operation Sindoor. So whenever maximum person living in a territory will come to support one cause, there the nationalism begins. Get this point? When they start sharing the pain and pleasure. Pain and pleasure doesn't mean you are giving some pain to me, taking some pleasure. No. Pain and pleasure, you are suffering the same mental status what the people of Tamil Nadu is suffering for that particular thing. Correct? That is known as nationalism. Here in the history, when the nationalism could have grown up, when the maximum Indians would have thought the British was their enemy. Now it was impossible to teach Indians. Why? Because India was divided on caste, India was divided on religion, India was divided on language, India was divided on region, India was divided on customs, traditions. So how these differences should be making up or made the bridge between the understanding that British is our enemy and what is their own motive. I mean to say, how these challenges they had to overcome to make all the people come to one platform. All means one, maximum, correct? So this phase is basically the efforts made by our nationalist leaders through their newspapers, through their seminars, through their travelings, through their making of speeches to the people, through their presenting the facts. Like, have you heard one person, Dada Bhai? हाँ बताओ क्या किया था, what he did, tell me. Very good, very good. Dada Bhai Naroji had given the drain of wealth theory. In the drain of wealth theory, Dada Bhai Naroji is told every wealth is going from India to Britain, nothing is coming back. Now think like this. Today if you have rupees 200 in your packet, suppose, assume, okay, I have taken all 200, you gone home. Tomorrow you have 300, I have taken all 300, gone home. Every day 200, 300, what will left with you? Suppose I am taking 200, giving 50, then you can work. Okay. Suppose I am taking 300, giving you 100, you can work. Because unless the money is revolved, the things cannot work out. Getting this point? Dada Bhai Naroji given the economic theory, R.C. Dutt given the economic theory. Now, economic theory was related to the poverty. How? Today, economy class, Jha sir had given you, poverty chapter had it touched. Okay. Today, government of India is making the policy. Our government. Now, this is government. This is India population. Government is making policy inclusive to all. There is no discrimination for everyone. Now, is the development reaches to everyone? It reaches to mostly to maximum. Economy may give you some other data, but maximum 5%. How much? 95% people are not getting the benefits of this. Now, these 95% people, out of this, you can say 60% people are based on different things. Private job, self-employment, like we are doing self-employment, some sort of business, a small business, agriculture, in this point. So that 60% can somehow survive. Like suppose if you will become IAS, how much salary you will get? 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh. How much? No, no, 1.5 IAS. In hand you will get 130, 135. What is your expense today in the month? एग्जाम्पशन पूछ रहे तुम लोग तो ऐसे शर्माने लगता है सर पूछ मिनिमम 20,000 when you'll become officer what will your expense ऐसे तो नहीं आएगा अच्छा सूट ड्रेस कपड़ा मेकअप making your mustache and beard isn't it going parlor 60-70,000 in your own expense if you will marry wife is more expensive nowadays and if you will marry your husband is not doing any there or expensive 30-40,000 1 lakh gone 35 is remaining with you how much will you be expending on the social शादी है ये है वो है करोगे ही समाज से बाहर तो नहीं रहेगा 15-20,000 if you get a child study of child and pampering minimum 15 to 20,000 per month for one child it crosses 150 your salary ends first they will give you salary finishes on 7th what will you do after that उधारी में जिंदगी जिएगा उससे मांगेगा मैं उल्टा मांग लूंगा तुम लोग this is what I am telling you this 60% is somehow staying okay now understand the point what you will do that I will tell you later on ठीक है how much remaining 35% this 35% has no means so they are day by day getting what poorer getting this point day by day getting what poorer this is what happened here economic theory was related to this problem and the leaders started telling the people that you are getting poverty you are getting poorer because of the economic policy of British and then they made understood with the facts people slowly started getting up started accepting this and finally few of the governor generals had done very vital mistakes like one governor general was there his name was Lord Lytton he was in 1776 to 1780 I will tell you later on also just making you reference Lord Lytton what is the name he did few very vital mistakes one he did that he brought the vernacular press act local languages paper should be closed another he did brought the arms act then one controversy had risen just after him Ripon came that is known as Gilbert Bill controversy get this point all such things have contributed in the growth of nationalism in India and people gradually slowly started accepting the fact that British is the real enemy and whatever the problems we are having that is because of the policies of British in this point so here we'll have to cover facts also and mains also this is again the very important thing for mains like questions they are giving like this Indian nationalism was the product of British Raj comment what we have to say correct we have to counter not counter we have to write in midway that everything will be discussed here Then what happened in the second phase right now? Freedom struggle second phase. It is establishment of Indian National Congress 1885. Moderates extremists. You must have heard one name, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh. They are extremists. Many moderate leaders are there. R.C. Dutt, Dadabhai Naoroji, Firoz Sameta, Badruddin Tayyabji, in this point. And many leaders were there in moderates. Difference we can know through the nature only. Like one difference I'm telling you here, because here this portion is also important for mains, moderates and extremists. Like suppose there was a demand made by the moderates that in administration there should be less British, more Indians, because they were keeping more British, less Indians. Moderates demanded this, but extremists wanted to demand Swaraj. Extremists wanted to demand Swaraj. What is the difference you are getting here? They are indirectly demanding. They are going through the stepwise process. Extremists is saying no. We have to go for direct process, head-on process, either today or not. Getting this point? So there are so many nature. From comparison of that, we will come to know about who are moderates and who are extremists. Leaders we know, but question comes from moderates and extremists. Like last 3-4 years before, one question came: why moderates were failed in convincing the mass about their political strategy? Comment. This is the question of IS means. Respond. So they're not asking who was Bal Gangadhar Tilak, comment or discuss. No. Basically nature, character, causes, they're asking the questions here. When we will see this phase will come to 1885 to 1915. And in this phase, many topic will come. Partition of Bengal will come. Respond. Then the Swadeshi movement will come, 1905. Then the Surat split will come. In this part, and many questions we are having with Surat split also. Then the first phase of revolutionary extremism will come. Revolutionary extremism. The nationalist whom I named right now, V.D. Savarkar, was in this phase only. Get it smart. Sachindanath Sanyal was in this phase only. Aurobindo Ghosh was also in extremism. Get it smart. All such people were there. Many time here, few incidents we can have the year also. Like one year they had asked Khudiram Bose and Praful Jaki tried to assassinate Magistrate Kingsford in which year? In this part. So whatever is the important thing there, that everything we will discuss there. Correct. So it's again very important for pre as well as mains. Third phase right now, Gandhian era. This is 1915 to 1947. Now, because of this thing, I told you earlier that whatever is the comment you see today, whatever person says today, suppose tomorrow I'll go to politics, suppose I'll join BJP, I will say Gandhiji was not good, but that is my own perception. That is nothing to do with history. Suppose somebody say Gandhiji had did this mistake, like one very common thing was there that I counted in 2008 in all institutes of Delhi. Thereafter, the people forgot about that. Candidates slowly, gradually forgot. One common notion was prevailing that Gandhiji did not save Bhagat Singh. Are you aware of this? Point is clear. 2008-9 when I started teaching, there only I counted with so many examples. People got convinced. Students left asking these questions. Now very few people are asking. Tell me today, what is the unemployment rate in Uttar Pradesh? Assumption पे बोलो. 10%, 10 to 12%. What is the population of Uttar Pradesh today? 24 to 25 crores मान लो. 25 crore, 12%, how much it will come? 3 crores around. 3 crore is unemployment rate. If I will ask you how much employment rate, see how the data is maligned, how the people are using the data. You have Google, do Google, then you will come to know exactly what is the employment rate in Uttar Pradesh current, just for 1 minute. हाँ जी बेटे, आप भी देखो. Are you understanding the thing what I'm telling? Writing the thing. Is it coming? Employment. Unemployment is clear. 32 point 2021 data. So that means you see 30% employment or 10% unemployment. How much? 24 crores, 30% is how much? 8 crores. 8 crores, 10% is how much? 3 crores. 8 crores is employed only, or unemployment is only 10%. 5.9%, that means 1.5 crore. है ना? और employed कितने हैं? 8 crores. 24 minus 8 कितना होता है? Actual employment क्या है? Unemployment. Actual unemployment is this one. अब बेटे 5 करोड़ हटा दो, फिर भी कितने अनएम्प्लॉयड हैं? आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू दैट, मैं समझता हूं उस चीज को. 5 करोड़ हटा दिया हमने. हाउ मच इज देयर? डाटा इज ओनली कमिंग ऑफ व्हाट? यहां से नीचे जाओ चाय वाले के पास, चाय पीते हो रोड पे आप लोग कहीं, उसको ये सब समझाओ तो वो क्या बोलेगा? भैया जाओ अपना काम करो, हमको बेचने दो. कॉमन मैन डजंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस. गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? आर यू गेटिंग द थिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग यू? Employment is much more higher in numbers than percentage. Much more higher. You will be frightened. डर लगने लगेगा आपको. कल क्या होगा? 10 साल के बाद क्या होगा? So what is happening is, why I am taking you this particular thing, that this is the gap. What we are administering today, what we are governing today. और ये डिक्रीज होने वाला तो नहीं. इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू डिक्रीज, इट विल increase, because it's not like that our government is not doing the effort. They are doing. Our population is like something else. Every year we are adding Australia. Are you aware? So then we have to plan the policy like that. But our one government was there, they brought computer. Another government brought information technology. Another government now is bringing AI. What they will do? More employment will reduce. Isn't it? What we have to do then? All of you will come with me. We will go to the village, brought some land, and we will do some agriculture. We will produce, we will eat, we will sleep. Is this 21st century? No. Getting this point? This is what here the person who are criticizing today Gandhi ji, Nehru ji, Patel ji, Sardar Patel ji, Maulana Abul Kalam Abjad, they are only for political purpose. They are only for, so don't let your mind impacted from those statements. Now, about Gandhiji, all of you know basics that Gandhiji went to South Africa. There he remained. Then he came back to India in 1915. India, that time the scenario was very critical. 1907, Congress was splitted. Bal Gangadhar Tilak went to the prison. Get this point? And all other moderate leaders left the movement. So movement was almost dying on. Simultaneously, this time the World War I started, 1914 to 1918. Getting this point? So what is happening here is Gandhiji in between that came to India. Then Gandhiji started first his experiments in India, because when he was in South Africa, there only he strategized his strategy, and that was known as Satyagrah. The strategy was given the name Satyagrah. That name is given by him only, correct? Then he started applying it in India. First 3 events happened: Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad Mills strike. In this point, all where he was successful. Then World War I was going on. Indian National Congress, Bal Gangadhar Tilak was left by British in 1914, correct? So when Gandhiji came, Gangadhar Tilak was back. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was back. So he was the senior most leader. And Congress also got joined here in Lucknow session, 1916. In this point, thereafter only Bal Gangadhar Tilak was having the responsibility to take the decisions. So Gandhiji was not at the forefront. Meanwhile, when the World War I was going on, that time the administrative setup of the Britain was changed in 1858. One person here was staying, he was termed as Governor General of India or Viceroy. Another person who was supervising the Indian administration was remaining in Britain. His post is known as Secretary of States. Understood that? Detail we will see in chapter everything. India, the highest post was Governor General of India. Same person was known as Viceroy. Britain, to supervise this all administration, Secretary of States. He was remaining in Britain. And he was having one council also, 15 members. How many members? 15 members. Clear? Now see, when World War I was going on, the Secretary of States was Edwin Montagu. Edwin Montagu. And Montagu commented that after the war, we will give progressive reform to India. Progressive reform means our Indian National Congress was demanding more Indianization of administration, direct election, simultaneous exam of ICS in Britain and India, reduction of the taxes, reduction of expenditure on defense, reduction of expenditure on the commercial activities. In this point, British should expend many demands. So they said we will reform it. But once the war ended, they did nothing. They did nothing. Rather, they brought one draconian black act named as Rowlatt Act. Have you heard it? Rowlatt Act, in which they have given the abnormal power to the administrator to arrest any Indian anytime, even on suspicion. That means to arrest and torture. Then the movement background started prepared for Gandhiji, and the first movement came, non-cooperation movement, 1922. Movement was withdrawn because of the Chauri Chaura incident. This part. And thereafter, when the movement withdrawn, Gandhiji was arrested, many leaders arrested. Meanwhile, in 1920, two ideologies entered into the Indian political scenario. One was humanity, history, communism. One was, second was, no. Very good. Difference, etc. I will tell you what are those. These two ideologies were followed by different nationalists. Like Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose was socialist. Point. N.C. Kelkar, Satyabhakt, and many other leaders were communist. Communist Party of India was established here only, where you are sitting, 1924, Kanpur, first. Point. These two ideologies started affecting the freedom struggle. And one ideology was going off Gandhian, that is Satyagraha. When these two ideologies started and Satyagraha was there combinedly, British started thinking that a bigger revolt may happen in India. There was no talks of revolt, there was no chances of revolt, because in Gandhian strategy there was no scope of revolt. But it was the thinking of British that India may go for bigger revolt. Then the British started sending the commissions, and the commission came Simon Commission. 1927 it was formed. February, March 1928 it came. Then again it came October 1928. Two times it came to India to suggest the constitutional reforms in India. Then series of incidents started happening. In between that, the Congress session of 1920 came. That is Lahore session. Which session? Lahore. Where the Congress demanded Purna Swaraj. Getting this point? And March 1930, Gandhiji started his second movement, Civil Disobedience Movement. Getting the point? That continued for 4 years. 1934 it was ended. But in between that, the British made the effort to get the compromise with Congress. In between that only, the Bhagat Singh incident happened. Correct? Now see here, what I told you in this point, 11 crore. Who is Government of India not trying to reduce this number? Yes or no? Yes. Number is not getting reduced. Secondly, if these people have to get something, or these people who are unemployed have to get something, they have to appeal from whom? Government. Is our government listening? क्या हमारी सरकार सुन रही है? नहीं सुन रही, लाठियों से पीटती है बच्चों को. नहीं पीटो एक बार. मेरा ये कंसर्न नहीं है अभी क्या हो रहा है. माइंड कंसर्न इज यूपी, बिहार, महाराष्ट्र, एवरीवेयर. Central vacancy around 20 lakhs is not getting fulfilled. Now you think 20 lakhs people if will get job, one person, 3 members family. How many lakhs people? Will it reduce or not? Reduce. Getting this point? Now, our government is not listening. Who has to decide? Government. Now here you listen. Bhagat Singh was arrested in criminal activity. That was throwing bomb in the legislative assembly. Symbolically, correct? Now, he was in criminal activity and the decision was to be taken by British, not by Gandhiji. Now, where the question comes that Gandhiji did not say. Was anything in the hand of Gandhiji? No. It was to be decided and to be implemented by whom? British only. Gandhiji requested, Gandhiji talked, but British did not do anything. British told, either you made political prisoners free or we will do nothing. And political prisoners were more than 1.5 lakh that time, all over India. So everybody was left. That is very famous compromise known as Gandhi-Irwin Compromise. 1931, 5th March 1931, it was signed. So it is wrongly said that Gandhi did not save Bhagat Singh. Our government is here, central government, more powerful. We are having missiles. We are having atomic weapon. Have we been able to save the Pahalgam people? No. Then can this government be blamed? No. No. This is the part of governance. This is the part of governance. Government is trying to secure maximum, but incidents happens. It doesn't mean we will start saying Manmohan Singh was wrong, Modi ji is wrong. No. No government thinks that the people should get hurt. No government. Every government is doing good for their society and people. But the final decision should be taken by whom? Government. Government of India, yeah, state government, wherever you go. So here every decision was to be taken by whom? Where the Gandhiji was wrong. Gandhiji was nowhere wrong. He tried to do so. Then why the people raise this question? People raise this question, what I told you, for political purposes. Respond. To get the sympathy, because this time Bhagat Singh was only 23 years old. Only? Have you gone to see some movie where the any Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, have you seen? Once the, you people not, especially the women and ladies, once the actress dies, women starts crying, अब इस बच्चे का क्या होगा? They start getting synchronized with whom? Movie. It is point. Why? बोलिए. Sympathy. Why? Sympathy. It is point. If some old person dies, people says well and good, they are living. But if some young person dies, what people say, oh, why this happened? This is the natural sympathetic psychological element found in every human being. Clear? So one is political, second is the sympathetic approach, that why people started saying like this. Okay? So neither Gandhiji, nor Nehru, nor Patel, nor anyone was responsible. Correct? Now then what happened in between that, the British again offered the Congress to come and talk, and the round table conferences were arranged. What was round table conferences? Round table conferences was the Indian politicians of every party went to Britain, England, and then there they had to talk with the British about the constitutional reforms. Three roundtable conferences held. First roundtable conference, Congress did not go. Second roundtable conference, Congress go. And Congress went and the British offered dominion status. I'll tell you what is dominion. It is not independence. But in 1929, Congress already had demanded Purna Swaraj. So there was no chance to accept dominion status. So finally, Gandhiji came back. When Gandhiji came back, again the movement started. Correct. And the movement ended in 1934 after the promise of the British that very soon we are bringing the road map to give India independence. And that there come Government of India Act 1935. Clear? It was the promise done. Then Gandhiji had withdrawn. Thereafter 1935 came. Then 1935 to 1947, it was the story of transferring of power to India. Power was in hands of British and they will transfer whom? Indians. Then came 1937 election. Then came demand of Pakistan 1940. Meanwhile, Second World War also started 1939. Once Second World War started, British were in the expectation that in India again the movement will start. So they tried that the movement should not start. They wanted to have some compromise with Congress. So they started giving the offers. First offer was given August of 1950. Second was given Cripps proposal, rejected by Congress. Thereafter, Congress decided to start last movement, Quit India movement. 1942 August, also known as August Revolution. When these 2 years it continued, then British condition internationally was very weak. And that time America was emerging as the superpower. In this point, the another portion that time which was going on conflict between USSR, Union Soviet Socialist Republic, that was formed in 1922. Both were fighting at one side, but both were having the differences. Why differences? What is there? What had happened? मैडम श्रीवास्तव वो तो 1989 में हुआ है. What's your name? Sahil, are you understanding the things? Slowly, gradually. आपका नाम? वेदांत. किसको वेदांत कहते हैं? किस टेक्स्ट बुक को? उपनिषद. Very good. See what happened. 1917 there was Russian Revolution. सुना इसको? Have you heard? सुने? 1917 when there was the revolution happened, that time the socialist communist came in power. Lenin. Clear? But in Russia that time there were capitalist people also, and those capitalist people were supported by British and USA to fight against whom? Socialist. That is known as White's Revolution. What is the name? This is the very first example where the communist people of Russia started thinking that the British and America is against the communism and they will finish communism. Clear? During the Second World War, Germany was about to attack upon Russia. Germany, Russia map is coming in your mind. Very nearby. And what was the Hitler's command? Pan-Germanism. क्या था? Including Russia. And Russia was asking France and Britain to counterattack from the other side upon Germany. For 2 years, Russia requested. After 2 years, they attacked. For these 2 years, Russia started thinking that capitalism is thoroughly against whom? Communism. These are the two events what made them separate. If you are saying only ideological divide, it is of no use. You have to mention these two things. This one. Okay, I'll tell you, then you can. So there the two superpowers were emerging. One is USSR, another is USA. USA was pressurizing British because USA was against colonialism to give every colony freedom. So Britain economic power was getting lost. Armed power was getting lost. So Britain was under the pressure of whom? USA. Then 1944 May, British released Gandhiji and given the condition to Gandhiji, you can take your freedom. With a condition, you have to compromise with Muslim League. Muslim League demanded Pakistan in 1940 under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Now thereafter, Indian National Congress started making the efforts. No fruits. Then there was the Viceroy, Governor General. His name was Wavell. 1945. Wavell made the effort. No use. Then 1946 came. 1946, Cabinet Mission was sent with the final draft to give India independence. 1946, the first Cold War event started, Berlin. So one side there was USA, Britain, France, another side USSR. And it was expected because August 1945, Second World War only ended. And 1946, it was expected that there may be another world war. So all the nations were getting threatened and British wanted to leave India as soon as possible. There onwards, we got the few incidents happened and we finally got independence in 15th August 1947. Getting this point? This is what the syllabus under Gandhian era. This point. And this is what the question what they asked. The first question you see what I made you write. how British complicated the freedom process of India. Getting this point? In between that, few more things will be there in the topics. All such things will be covered. This is our syllabus in modern India, what I gave you. One more thing is there, you note down. Constitutional development. In brief, I will tell you because at the interval of 3-4 years, one question comes in preliminary. Constitutional development. First will come here, Regulating Act, 1773. From here only the Governor General of Bengal post was created. Second will come Amending Act 1781. Clear? Third will come Pitt's India Act 1784. Written it? Then will come Charter Act. First Charter Act came in See, there the name will be Charter Act 1793, correct? Second came in 1813, third came in 1833, fourth came in 1853. Fourth Charter Act scheme, clear? Then came Government of India Act. Sorry, first you write down Indian Council Act. Indian Council Act. First came 1861, 1892, 1909. 1909. 1909 is also given the name Parliamentary Reforms. There I'll make you write. Why they are known as Council Act? First you write down fourth last one. Government of India Act 1858, 1919, 1935. Independence Act 1947. Independence Act 1947. Polity didn't happen with you. Polity did not happen. Few classes, no. Okay. If I'm asking you who are executive, what will be your answer? See, central level NDA is ruling. NDA total membership is around 300, 294. How much? 300. Prime Minister, Council of Ministers from NDA. They are numbering maximum 50 because 15% is the rule. What is the rule? 15%. Maximum 50. After 50, there are how many MPs left? 250. Correct? If we are saying executive, that means this is not only this one. They are the part of executive, not the every winning candidate. Correct? Only PM, COM is executive. Head of the executive, president. Clear? These executives are the part of legislature also. PMs, Council of Ministers are sitting where? Legislature, Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Hmm? Who is running legislature? Who is running legislature? अभी तो बोला executives, not only Council of Ministers. Running. But who are the parts of legislature? Executive, remaining MPs plus opposition. अखिलेश यादव जी कहाँ बैठते हैं? किस पार्टी के? ऑपोजिशन के है ना? दे आर द पार्ट ऑफ लेजिस्लेचर और नॉट? पार्लियामेंट और नॉट? आर दे और नॉट? यस. Running is only through executive. What is the meaning of running? They will bring the bill, they will set into the motion, they will bring the resolution, discussion, everything. But part of legislature is executive plus winning party member who are left plus opposition. This is known as council. What is the most important part of governance in India? India, legislature. Because executives can make the policy only through legislature. Executives can make the planning only through legislature. Getting this point? So during the British time, what happened when they started bringing the post? Now, in this capacity, executives are doing which function? Sitting in legislature, which function they are doing? Legislative function. What are their executive function? Law and order, making the different policies for different departments, taking the meetings, deciding the issues. These are their executive functions. Both are separated. Correct? When British started making the post here, Governor General was given both power, executive as well as legislature. Respond. Then this executive and legislative power started getting separated from 1861. Executive separate, legislature separate. And this legislature is given the name Indian Council Act. Respond. Later on, it will be bifurcated in two parts. One will be given the name Legislative Assembly, that became Lok Sabha. Another will be given the name Council of States, that became Rajya Sabha. Clear? So this is why it is termed as Council Act. Why Charter Act? Charter Act is related to the rules of company. Rules of East India Company. In that, if the changes made it, some responsibilities added, anything, then the particular thing is known as Charter Act. Government of India Act is related to the all territorial developments. All territorial developments. Initial acts were only regulating. Initial acts were only regulating. Getting this point? This is our syllabus. If you have any doubt, you can ask anything. Any point if coming in your mind? No. Now see, few words are there, please understand. One is power vacuum. Another is political governance. Third is policies and impact in monarchy. Great. Now understand whatever I am saying. India was same what you are seeing today, except Pakistan separated. Now, when India was same, Indian territories were same. Maybe the boundary was somewhat more, somewhat less. Simultaneously, the society was same. Maybe few people who were staying in the Maharashtra in the 17th century, they migrated to Uttar Pradesh. Their forefathers, now they become Uttar Pradesh. That can happen. But territory was same, society was same. Mughals came from outside and they started controlling India. Now, whenever India right now is trying to control Kashmir, what happens? POK. What happens? Who comes in opposition? Pakistan. In support of Pakistan, who comes? Through United Nations, who comes? US and other powers. That is part. It is our territory, but once we try to capture, these people start opposing. So when Mughal came as outsider, they were having two power center challenge here. One was Rajputs. You know Rajputs? Another was Afghan. That means Mughal can sustain here only if they will defeat them and defeat them. This is the one assumption I told you. Mughal will sustain here if they will make friends to them or make friends to them. Only two things can happen. Otherwise, they cannot sustain. Third assumption is they must be fighting all the time. Getting this point? So what happened? Mughals decided to defeat completely the Afghans and they defeated. And they decided to have friendly relations with Rajputs, especially shaped by Akbar. Getting this point? Thereafter, the Rajputs won maximum India for whom? Akbar. It was a loyalty friendship. It was a faithful friendship. Akbar was also doing many things and they were also supporting Akbar. Get this point? Meanwhile, Akbar also understood another thing. Mughals were outsiders. They have the culture of Islam. And here India, the culture is different. Religion is different. If there will be all-time contradiction, like suppose Indians will be disallowed to follow their religion, customs and traditions, conflict will start. If Indians will be disallowed to follow their process of marriage, follow their process of society, conflict will start. So Akbar in the social sphere also had gone for the assimilative policy. He allowed everything to Indian culture. Do whatever you want to do. So what started happening? Assimilation. क्या होना शुरू हुआ? अपने घर में अपनी मम्मी को क्या बुलाते हैं? In maximum Indian houses, still we are calling Amma. Have you heard? From where this word came? Islam. कहाँ से आया? क्यों आया? Assimilate करना start कर दी. Assimilation is not an objective process and you think I won't assimilate, that can never happen. That automatically flows. In language, in religion, in customs, in tradition, in dressing, in fooding, everything. Respond. So Akbar had got the army in whom? Rajputs. Their own army was also there and Akbar had made the assimilative society, both. Then Mughal was accepted by the Indians and Mughal became almost treated by the Indian society as Indians. So rule started sustaining. In this point, all such things were continued by Jahangir and Shah Jahan. But it was reversed by whom? Aurangzeb. Clear? In brief, just listen it. Now see. When Aurangzeb died, write down there. After Aurangzeb, just write down like this what the process I am following. Bahadur Shah 1. He ruled from 1707 to 1712. Then became Jahandar Shah. Am I clear to all of you whatever I am saying? 1712 to 1713. Then came Farrukhsiyar. 1713 to 1719. 1713 to 1719. Then came Muhammad Shah. Muhammad Shah is also known as Muhammad Shah Rangila. Do you know this? Why? बताओ. Which dance? Might be नहीं, ऐसा बोलेगा. Might be my name is X. Kathak. Yes, he was almost practicing Kathak for 8 to 10 hours per day. Sufi side of Kathak. Then he was having more than 100 wives. So he was engaged with dance or with wives. And his period is very important because here Marathas were rising. Marathas were defeating whom? Mughals. Second, here Muhammad Shah 1720 to 1748. Here the one of the attack came from the West Asia. Nadir Shah 1739. When he was in the last of his year, Ahmad Shah Abdali started attacking. So his rule was a turning point in history. In this point. Now see, till Aurangzeb, the Mughals were the central ruler. After that, what I made you understood, Mughals were having the friendly relations with Rajputs, and Mughals also controlled society. Aurangzeb disturbed this. Rajput started dissociating. Rajputs started leaving home, Mughals. Society started becoming disturbed because Aurangzeb started following the strong Islamic version. No Holi, no Deepavali, not even in Islam. That he told no, Islamic people will also not celebrate any festival. People started getting disturbed. Rajputs started getting distanced. When Bahadur Shah I became the ruler, Rajputs revolted. What you started seeing here? Understand. Minus Modi ji, can BJP win? No. जीरो हो जाएगा. औरंगजेब हटा, बहादुर शाह वन आया, राजपूत डिसलॉयल हुए और किसके अगेंस्ट रिवोल्ट कर दिया? Regular revolts. Next point. Simultaneously, Jahandar Shah only 1 year rule, nothing to use. Farrukhsiyar, Rajputs revolt, Sikh revolt, Jat revolt. Against whom? Farrukhsiyar. Now the ruler is engaged with whom? Revolts only. And that had given the chance to rise to whom? No, 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 Marathas. This point. Are you getting this clearly? This is happening today also. If the main person is engaged in something, the other people can have the chance to rise. Correct? Now, when this happened, they started making disloyalty and things were there. That means the centralized rules started declining. When centralized rule started declining, there should have been the first problems which should have been appearing, that is of revenue. Why so? Because Mughal revenue structure was like this. GST What is the structure today? States are directly sending to center, then center is redistributing to states. This is the structure. Now see, Delhi Sultanate, Mughal, throughout medieval, even Marathas, what is the structure? This is capital of Delhi Sultanate and Mughal. Mughal's capital maximum time was Agra till Jahangir. Thereafter Shahjahan moved to Delhi. After Shahjahan it was in Delhi. And there were other provinces, correct? Now what is the revenue structure here? In every province there was a separate head. And he had to collect the revenue minus his expenses and finally send the surplus. Are you getting this? This person had to collect the revenue of this territory, trade revenue, agriculture revenue, business revenue, minus his expense. What is expense? Keeping military, keeping horses, keeping weapons, his salary. Whatever is left, that is to be sent to king. If the king is weaker, the people will not give revenue to whom? King. If the revenue is not coming, that means army will be losing the strength. Once army is losing the strength, that means any power can challenge whom? Mughal. Getting the points? So that time when it started happening, the rulers started becoming. It doesn't mean they were weak, they were not brave. They were highly brave, but they were not able to control because of the lack of the conditions, and Marathas started emerging. So once the rule is declining, central rule, that creates a vacuum, and science says there will be no vacuum remaining. This point, and this vacuum is known as what? Power vacuum. This part. So Maratha started fulfilling this vacuum. Clear? So tomorrow we will start from here. The first chapter you note down. Later Mughal. First I will make you give all the overviews and all the things, points and all. Then I will make you dictate for mains also. Clear? If I will be covering later Mughal, then I will switch over to second topic. Correct? Anything you want to ask me. All of you have done graduation. Anyone who has done masters? No one. Masters. Which subject? Which subject? Acha, good, good, good. What are your interest areas? Psychology. Reading, studying, or for examination only? All things. Yours? What is your hobby? There is a column in the main interview form. Cooking. Okay. You cook regularly? How many people you cook? Now, not earlier. 5, 6, 2, 3, 8 people. 8 people. If chicken has to, what happened to you? Why are you sleeping? Why whispering? I have been seeing you since beginning. If you are not interested, rest at home. History is such a tough thing for UPSC or PCS. For mains, pre pass कर जाएगा कहीं भी पढ़ के, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. You will remain finding the things where what should I write in the answer. So please have the some concentration at this point and don't take it very lightly. I am telling you in very easy ways. That is why you are taking it very lightly. Okay, this is what mine study, mine experience, teaching since 2008. In this point, one guy with me has given the cooking habit. In the interview, they asked how many gram of turmeric you will give in cooking some sabji for 5 people. इंडियन स्टाइल हम लोग क्या करता है, चम्मच से देता है ना. 5 आदमी आधा चम्मच, 10 आदमी 1 चम्मच. अब वो कैस में पूछ रहा है, ग्राम में. This point. So don't worry, that time is far away. You will learn many things by that time. आपका क्या है हॉबी? हाँ, philosophy, good. Which Western Indian? Western philosophy. Yours? Which type of music? All type. Dance. देख के लगता नहीं आपको? Trained कथक. Which dance we have the? Yes, yes. Which dance we have the 360-degree movement? 360 डिग्री डांसेस, 360 डिग्री मूवमेंट एक ही डांस में होता है डांसर का, पूरा घूमती है डांसर. कथक. कथक, भरतनाट्यम एटसेट्रा, देयर इज नो 360 डिग्री मूवमेंट, ओनली इन कथक. ओरिजिनेटेड विथ whom? वाजिद अली शाह. हाँ, आपका क्या है? ठीक है, तुम विराट कोहली बनेगा. क्या बनेगा? ओके, यू एंजॉयड, यू गॉट समथिंग इन योर माइंड. Tomorrow onwards, we will start the first topic. You want to ask something, you can ask. Nothing. So best of luck. We'll meet tomorrow same time. Most welcome. Most welcome. गुड इवनिंग. वो चले गए? अच्छा, यहाँ बैठे कि उधर बैठ जाए?